So, hi guys, it's Lou Martin here, and I'm with the light of my life, Henna Maria, who is just always blazing a trail, and it's all we can do to keep up with her. And she's going to talk about Summer of Light and what's happening right now. Henna, welcome, my friend.
Thank you, Lou. So happy to be again in your stream waves.
Yes, yes, we worked our technical boogie out, and we have a good connection. Thank you, God.
Yeah, thank
Yeah,
you, God. Yeah, Summer of Light. So this is something that we've been co-creating with a group of activists and visionaries in Finland,
great.
and it's kind of come as a answer to many of our questions and prayers
Great.
to say, what can we do in this time? Because we feel like there's some real mad stuff happening in the world, and it seems to be very well planned and very well organized, and there seems to be like this machine behind it that is just pushing it forward and forward and forward.
Right.
And so we've been all tuning in to the ether and saying, what can we do? And we basically got just all the same download at the same time, that we just need to begin to create celebration-based conscious activism on the streets.
Beautiful.
And we need to showcase who we truly are, and it has to be from authentic place of inspiration and joy, so that we can counter that like a grid of, oppressive control and fear, what I think all of us have been feeling,
Sure.
no matter where you live.
Sure.
Yeah, so Summer of Light is an invitation to become your own conscious leader, to step into your power, into your role, and create local events wherever you are, to just showcase the world that we want to see, through celebration, through open workshops, through musical celebrations, yoga, whatever it is that people want to do, share information about permaculture. Just to bring it to the public arena and show that we're here. Right. And we're not going along with your plans. We're creating the new earth.
Brilliant. Beautiful. Bravo. Bravo. And you've got I've joined, of course, and I'm in completely and utterly, and wouldn't miss it for the world. Thank you. Thank
Yay!
you. Yes, yes, yes. It's just so much fun. How could we, why would we ever not go down this wonderful path of joy? And you have a Facebook page,
Yep.
Join.
Yes, and also a group to bounce ideas with each other. So this is all very fresh. Just started in the last 5-6 days.
Yes, I think I saw 40 people have jumped on so far yesterday, something like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, something like that. 43, I think it was today.
Okay.
So the idea is, we want to make it as real life based as possible, as little as possible, like online events, because we feel that the online events are kind of limited. The audience is limited to the similar minds. So it's like preaching to the converted kind of thing, like we already all love love, and we love light, and we love peace. But the idea is to showcase it to those who may have not yet come to see that, wait a minute, that kind of life is possible. And so basically we're looking to empower and inspire the people that are still in a very fear-based vibration because of the constant, bombarding of negative news and, terror, as we were saying in the last stream with you.
Right.
So basically it's just to invite those people to say, hey, come with us.
Yes.
Come along with the organic human consciousness. Let's not take that path of AI, robotic machine consciousness. Like, look, there's another way, and we're already there. Come with us.
Yes.
Yeah. And so the group is like simply, if we want to bounce ideas with each other online and say, share, like, this is what we're planning. We're planning a natural medicine workshop on the streets where we're going to have different herbs, and there's going to be like a competition for the families where they can smell and try and guess what's what. And then there's like a chocolate truffle as a little reward if you get it right, or, like whatever. It could just be like fun and games. And it's our way to create these vortexes of light streaming and transmitting a signal of joy, because it's so needed right now.
Sure. Yes, it absolutely is. I mean, the quote from Abraham, who says, the basis of life is freedom, the purpose of life is joy. And if you don't have joy, you have nothing really to offer anyone else. And as you're saying, my dear friend, You know, we're like islands of light in a sea of darkness sometimes. And you
Yeah.
know, we're so grateful for all the connections that we have with other you know, light workers who understand what's happening and feel the same sense of passion and calling, and you know, just a desire to put out the alternate message and the alternate viewpoint and the
Yeah.
alternate way of looking at things. And yeah, sweetheart, I mean, yeah, it is really what is unrolling and unfolding in the consciousness is pretty merciless. There's little room for discussion or debate in any real way. And you know,
Mm-hmm.
um, so yeah, it's quite a challenge, but I'm sure us and the universe together can manage any magic and any miracles that are needed. So you
Yeah.
know, it's exciting. I'm old enough. I'm happy to say to remember the first summer of love, which was 1967. Which, of course, I just want to, you know, put things in context. That was the Vietnam War. That was civil rights demonstrations all over the country. You know, there was a lot of chaos and confusion and drama and all that going on at that time as well. But
Yeah.
you know, the music and the kids and you know, people who felt the calling, flower power, and the hippies and all of those great energies, you know, were out there, ban the bomb, and you know, peace now, and all we're saying is give peace a chance. I'm just
Yeah.
giving you all my 60s you know, references here that are still very alive in my head. So I'm sure this is
That's amazing.
yeah, well, thank you. I'm sure this is going to grow. And you know, we're planting seeds right now in you know, sharing this message, and we're putting the word out to people. And you know, it's just it's exciting to see how it will come back, you know, and who will respond, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It really is. And you know, I just feel like now it's like we don't have a lot of time. That's
Yeah.
what I'm feeling.
Yes.
Like the
Yes.
what's in store for us with those plans of microchipping us and 24-hour surveillance, everything totally digitalized, you know, everything totally monitored, including our food sources made completely into GMOs, and everything made into this artificial machine consciousness. So I, you know, having read the Agenda 21 and Agenda
Yes.
2030 from the UN, and you know, lockstep document from the Rockefeller Foundation, and you see that this is what they're planning, and you see where they are already in
Yes.
their little timeline.
Yes. Yes.
So I feel like it's time now to stop saying one day we will rise up, one day we will
Sure.
create the new earth. Like, no, the time is
Yeah.
now. The
Yeah.
time is
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
Let's do it
Sure,
now.
sure. 100%, sweetheart. 100%. I'm with you totally.
Yeah.
This is also what my teacher Patricia Cota Robles talks about. How, you know, this whole decade is the time that the veil is thinnest between ourselves and spirit than it's ever been, and it's going to continue to as the vibration of the planet gets higher and higher, and we move into this part of the solar system where there's less you know, energy around us. We're more able to interact with the larger universe and the conscious
Yeah.
beings that are everywhere. And
Mm-hmm.
this is one thing also Lazarus said to us, that this is the difference between the old and the new world, is that spirits can work through us and with us, and of course they are all the time, you know.
Yeah.
It's just that we're often not conscious of that. But especially you and I know, as whatever we are, teachers, healers, way showers, you know, cheerleaders for a good time and a good cause, that you know, as spirit helps us to raise our vibration, so we're able
Mm-hmm.
to deliver a clearer message, and you know, energetically begin to show people what the new earth and the new world can look like, and that it is quite real. The other thing I want to say is that, you know, uh, for kids growing up right now in the world, I think this is
Mm-hmm.
especially important because, you know, can you imagine being 16 years old right now, you know, or 12, or, you know,
Yeah.
you know, what a huge, gigantic time of choice and challenge and change all these brave
Mm-hmm.
and beautiful souls have come into. So, you know, I'm sure there's going to be a lot of interest from the youth of the world to help this to happen, because this is their future, as much as it's anyone's future, that they need to reclaim
Yeah.
at this time. And yeah, so I'm excited about that as well.
Yeah, totally. I feel there's just so many seeds that are kind of have been in hibernation. And I feel that what is happening now is that energetic jolt that we're being given to say, begin to germinate, begin to sprout, begin to blossom. That many of us have been kind of doing a little bit of activism here and there, or keeping our work very kind of underground and just working in our own communities. And I feel like what's needed now is us to just say, okay, well, I'm doing my part, but what can I do to inspire people in my community and in my circle of people to join me, to say, okay, let's start organizing, let's start thinking about solutions.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. That's right. Absolutely. That's brilliant. That's my practice as well, sweetie, that stuff happens and I'm overwhelmed by it and I don't know what the answer is, and I just meditate my brains out until I get to a place where I'm like, well, I don't know, but it's going to be fine, so whatever. And then I get back in my seat here and face the screen and start putting out some love and some hope again.
Yeah, totally. And I feel, like many of us are asking, well, if they've got this like ginormous machine that is backing them up and they have been at this for millennia, what can we do? Like, gosh, that we don't have enough time. But the message that I keep getting over and over again is that you have to have faith that the right guidance comes at the right time.
That's right.
And what I've been feeling is the most urgent step is just to begin to raise the frequency. Like,
right.
Seriously, begin to counter that fear and trauma-based mind control and that oppressive fear grid that that they're trying to lace our earth with.
Sure.
And just to say, we begin by showcasing our true nature. We begin by showcasing joy, celebration, hope, faith, and then when we're higher and higher in the frequency as a collective, that guidance can penetrate and come through a lot clearer, and our own creativity can blossom in terms of, well, why don't we begin to create some kind of new, systems for trading, what kind of eco villages or whatever, homeschooling, organizations, or whatever it is. Like, I'm sure there's just so many experts that are already ready to serve. But I feel like the first step is the joy, like we're raising frequency.
Yeah. Brilliant. I mean, the thing is to know that we have a choice, isn't it?
Yeah.
And to really give people the awareness, remind people the truth that everything is a choice. It's all free will, right? And as you and I know from our own personal experiences, and many other people on the planet, it is literally darkest before the dawn. When we are in a healing crisis or a spiritual crisis, an emotional, financial, whatever's going on, and we are all out of ideas and resources, and we've tried all of our tricks and nothing works, then God is going, well, right here, my friends, anytime, just give me a call. And we go, yes, please help me. For God's sakes, help me. So, it gets easier with practice to know how to tune in and to be open to receive, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. And it's so right what you say about the free will. And, that leads me to think about how we've even gotten to this point.
Oh, yes.
And it's because these organizations, institutions, systems, of this machine consciousness, they operate by consent. They rule by consent.
Right.
So, and how do they get our consent? Well, through all sorts of manipulations, and they bypass it through different systems. I don't know if you've heard about the straw man, what they do with our name in the birth certificate.
Yes.
How basically we're made into a
corporation.
And then so this is how they can have the rulership in the court of law and in the societal realm, political realm, and even in the Western medicine. know,
right.
how they basically own us and can do whatever they want with us.
Right.
But, you know, I feel like in this time, 2020, perfect vision, right?
Yes,
2020.
exactly. Well said.
So we're, like you're saying, the veil is thinner than it's ever been. We're beginning to see the solutions as well, more than ever.
That's
And
right.
sovereignty,
Mm.
I feel like, is raising its head.
Yeah.
And we're beginning to learn, wait a minute.
Yeah.
So there's a way to claim our name back even. There's a way to make us into sovereign land where we are not anymore property of the state or owned or ruled by the state or even by the police. So like this knowledge is peaking its head and more people are talking about it. I'm seeing websites being built. I'm seeing lawyers who are beginning to specialize in helping people to become sovereign.
Wow.
And it's just like, wow, this is amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, I actually, that's synchronous. I connected with a chap yesterday in a session who is a light worker who's also a lawyer. So that just rings my bell there. We didn't talk about any of these things in particular, but you know, but what you know, David Icke talks about is that all of that is casting a spell, and you know, there's I'm sure you and I have probably done this, and others are familiar with this. There are a lot of wonderful channelings from the ascended masters and other beings of light who, you know, help people to break the agreements with the darkness, the unconscious agreements with the darkness, or the past, or our ancestors, or negative thought forms, etc., etc. Take your pick. And you know, so we have that ability to break the spell. Is my point, I believe. Of course. Yeah. We are
absolutely.
Sovereign. We are sovereign.
Yeah, because the way, like the basic fundamental understanding of what spell is, it is an illusion.
Yes.
Which is why spells can be broken. Whereas healing is a transmutation. Healing is permanent. Nobody can undo healing.
Right.
So like when we began to learn the healing arts, it became very clear to us that there's a path to choose between kind of a path of magic and shamanism, which is based on spells that can be undone, or curanderismo, the art of healing, which is based on helping others empower themselves to face their darkness, to go through their dark night of the soul, and then through love and forgiveness and you know, mercy and all these things, transmuting the darkness into loving grace, into freedom, into spiritual liberation. So it was clear for us from the get-go that we are not interested in spells or magic or anything like that. We're interested in the healing and liberation. So I feel that's exactly where they work. They work in the realm of illusions and, you know,
power
delusions.
Yeah.
And all we need to do, as soon as, and the way they work as well, is as soon as you become aware of it, it already begins to dissolve. Because it draws its power from the unconscious, from the unseen.
Right. Brilliant. Yeah. Beautifully said, my friend. Absolutely beautifully said. I was listening to Carolyn Mace a couple of days ago, and she was saying that the mind can make you feel better, but the soul is the provenance of grace and healing. And like you're saying, you know, when you work, I just did this quote yesterday from my guides, you know, that you have a body and a mind. You are your soul and spirit. When you give what you have to what you are, you come back to yourself and you're reborn again, as you're saying. So that's the practice of using our free will to surrender back to the truth of who we are, and you know, shifting that focus, and just you know, living, loving, and learning.
I just feel such warmth, like when you speak about the messages you get. I start tearing up, because I honestly, like, the soul resonance of who you're working with is just like profound. I feel, wow, that is truth. That is truth.
Bless you.
And you know,
thank you.
I just like to draw a little bridge into what many people. What I love is embodiment and you know, holistic understanding of who we are. And I feel that there's kind of a school of thought that likes to separate aspects of us in a way that I don't feel serves our highest good. Like, for example, I hear a lot of people talking about ego is the enemy, and we need to kill the ego.
Right.
And what I understand is more in resonance with what you say, that we have a mind. Similarly, we have an ego. And I feel the ego is our five sense apparatus that helps us listen to what we need, what our body needs in order to survive in this realm. So it can be of service. The thing is, if we let the ego grow too much and it becomes our master, in a sense of we only it becomes the driving force of our decision making and on our consciousness, meaning only we follow the craving of a sense of taste, which should be something that gives us joy, but at the end of the day, we are the master of it,
Right.
So I feel like the ego can be in service to us.
Yes.
If we learn to balance those senses, those crude senses of the ego, which are meant to be in our service to keep us alive on this plane, with the higher senses of the soul, of the spirit.
Yes.
Because we have the lower and the higher of everything, of sight, of taste, of feeling, of hearing. So I'm not in resonance with that, the whole like kill the ego, it's your enemy. Like I don't feel it's holistic,
No, I agree with that 100%. And it's a brilliant point. And it's missing the forest from the trees when people say that, because as you say, it truly, that's my experience of it, Henna. It truly is. It's the phrase is the over-identification with the self, with the physical self or the emotional self or whatever. And it's, the quote from Jesus, be in the world, but not of the world, enjoy it for what it is, respect it for what it is, appreciate it for what it is, but know who you are, that you're a spiritual being having a human experience. And time and space are just illusions, basically, that you've created in order to learn to wake up to who you really are in this reality. And they can serve you, or the ego feels imprisoned by time and space and identity and the body and all of that, and keeps compromising, basically. Addiction, obsession, compulsion are the energies that my guides talk about. Whereas in the dark night of the soul, we face our illusion of separation. And in order to survive and to heal, as you were saying earlier, we need to open our hearts. We need to forgive. We need to take responsibility. We need to be compassionate. We need to ask for forgiveness, make amends, whatever is, required, so that we can transcend our ego and come back into our spirit, basically.
Yeah, totally. Absolutely. And the mind as well. Like I remember I used to have a lot of negativity in the mind, and a lot of like the self-saboteur, and I grew up thinking
I do know. Yes.
I grew up thinking that is the nature of the mind. I thought that is what mind is. That is how my mind works. Until, having started the spiritual journey, and having the space, having created a space where I could witness the mind and begin to communicate with the mind and begin to, you mentioned thought forms. I think that's a very vast topic and so crucial to understand what they are, these beliefs that are born from trauma and so on, that we identify with and think are part of our persona, when they are just these egregores and these,
subpersonality.
It's almost like they become, it's like they become their own entities when they live with us long enough. And beginning to recognize I am not that, I'm listening to that voice, but that is not the truth of me. And then beginning to trace back, this became, this voice is actually the embodiment of the bully from my school. Or this is, this is that which was born in the trauma, that experience of betrayal has now led me to have this thought form. And then tracing back their origins and then healing the original traumas that where they were born from. I began to see that the voices began to disappear. And what I thought is my personality was just a very dysfunctional mind, a very chaotic mind that was filled with these false beliefs. And then as they were going away more and more, I began to see, wait, my mind can be my ally. Even my mind, something I thought is a saboteur, is actually a friend of mine now. Like we can work together, we can analyze, we can tune into things, we can read things. because
right.
it's all about how we program it, right?
That's right. That's right. That's absolutely right. Sweetheart, I just adore you. You know, you're making such deep sense. And these are the kinds of conversations that people need to be having in our world right now. Because as you say, you know, when people are provoked into fear for survival, that's our lowest self. You know, that's our core self, basically. That's the reptilian brain, as they say, and that's fight or flight and these kinds of things. Excuse me. Whereas like when we're talking about healing thought forms, healing subpersonalities, working with, compassion and mercy and kindness and grace, calling upon the angels, the beings of light, God, Goddess, all that is, the higher self, etc. And beginning to understand that that's a part of our reality. Then we can consciously choose to let go of the things that are no longer serving us. And again, people are just not aware that it's not so complicated, is it?
No.
Yeah.
No, and it really is. I've met many people who struggle with
Yes.
things, and they say, "But it's just who I am." Well,
Right.
this is me. I'll never change, and it's like, well, you can if you want to.
Yes, exactly. Hello.
I
Yeah.
used to think that I'm a very angry person because I had a lot of anger in me. Like,
Sure. Sure.
I'm a fire element anyway, so
Right.
I have a bit of that
Sure.
crackling energy in me.
Yes.
But there was something that wasn't me as well,
Sure.
and
Sure.
I
Sure.
thought that's just the way I am, and I easily get irritated, and it's been amazing, like through the healing journey, to realize that wasn't me.
Yes. Yes.
That was
Yes.
just the anger that I was living with, and
Yes.
now I can control myself. Like if I
Yes.
start feeling a little bit of anger, it's like, well, do I want to react or do I want to respond? And then I remember,
Sure.
don't let the fire take over. And it's
Yes.
just been such a relief and liberation to know that all those aspects that I hated about myself and thought it's always going to be with me,
Yes.
were just they had their reason, and they were a
That's right.
lot. There was like a logic behind it why I was behaving that
Sure.
way, but it
Sure.
wasn't me.
Sure. That's
You
right.
know?
That's right. That's right. That's right. Beautiful. Beautiful. The heart knows what the mind struggles to believe. The mind is a computer that gets programmed by our unconsciousness in childhood and in the world. And now in
Yeah.
this time of awakening, healing, and growth, as my guides say, we're really being faced suddenly with these very, as been saying here and pointing out so beautifully, these dramatic and stark choices about the future that we all want to live in.
Yeah.
And as you say, the default program is a freaking nightmare, everybody. So we better wake up to the fact that human life and humanity's spirit and our free will choice to live in this world and to come to this world at this time with all this going on, all of this is known and understood by spirit and by our guides, and there's help. I mean, I still like magic because my teacher of 33 years, Lazarus, has taught us basically magic is just the consciousness of creating your will to allow change to happen. So it's not being the
You
victim.
could call it intention as well.
Yes, yes,
When you're
exactly.
working with conscious intention. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. But it's so we're all just trying to put a name to things that we agree about. Basically, is
Yeah.
what it. But yeah, so that we have choice. That choice is everything. That we define ourselves in our lives and our world by the choices we make, and that we, as Abraham would say, that we empower with a lot of emotion. Like I loved what you just said about anger. Or any of our what I just read in the course. The course says basically all negative emotions are somehow a reaction to our fear of death. And so, a belief in lack in any area is basically a fear of our own limitation, our own mortality. But of course, since we're a spiritual being having a human experience, we actually are immortal. It's only our mind and our body that are temporary. Everything else is eternal. So, God bless us. We're living in this moment when humanity is saying, I'd like to remember that's true. I'd like to remember
Yeah.
that, I'm bigger than the scary people in the world and the people with, bad intents who want to control everything and everyone. And so, there's great freedom is what I want to say on the other side of all these fears and all these unconscious programs. And you know, it's worth whatever it takes to learn how to wake up.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. And you know, it's like this global collective fear has kind of spiraled many into their dark night of the soul,
Right.
without truly understanding that that is what is happening, that they're being forced to face their fears, which is not just the fear of a germ, an invisible, you know, microorganism, but everything that comes along with it. And of course, it all goes into that fear of death is at the core of everything, as you exactly pointed it out.
Right.
Which is why I feel like these people need help. Like, we need to hold the space for them. Because imagine, you know, going into that without having any kind of energetic support, and just everyone going into the dark night of the soul at the same time, with there not being anyone who's singing the songs of grace to help you feel supported. I feel like that's what's been going on the last couple of months, and which is why it's been so overwhelming. And those of us who already have a spiritual practice and are already, you know, well on our path of healing and self-discovery, we've been feeling it too, haven't we?
Oh God,
like,
yes. Oh, sweetheart.
Like so much. I feel like I have to live in prayer basically these days, because it's like, it's just unrelenting, like the darkness.
Yeah, babe.
You know?
Yeah. I did 6 hours of meditation 2 days in a row to shift my energy around work and money. And then I manifested 4 sessions and 3 subscribers, and it was lovely. So I'm going, thank you, God.
Hey.
God. But you know, it's, so we're all doing the work, because it is quite real. What's happening energetically is quite real.
Oh yeah. Like I've literally been feeling like a boulder on my shoulders. That's how concrete it has gotten. Like, man, it's like something is trying to oppress us so much. And like, I've been doing this like conscious embodiment exercises of freedom. Like, how do I physically express freedom in my being? So I've been focusing a lot on opening my chest, and little symbols like keeping my palms open, because I've been feeling like I'm clutching my fists, like what is going on? There's like this tension, you know? Like, how do I remind myself that I am in peace already, and I am free, you know? At the core of everything, I am already free. And then I've been doing things like, you know, I've put on my favorite music, and I've been dancing with our Palo Rosa tree over there, and just connecting to the elements, you know, gardening a lot, and just getting that energy, you know, like I am human. I'm not a robot. Just reminding myself.
Good, honey. You know? Good. Proud of you. Yes, me too, darling. Yes, just anything to, oh yes, sweetheart. Just call me anytime, my friend. Anything to, you know, go, okay, Lou, you're on the crazy side of the fence. They want you back. No, you've fallen down, and come on now, pick yourself up.
Yeah.
I know. And sweetheart, I mean, again, it's just, you know, Henna, I just am so thrilled for our friendship and our connection, because I mean, you just, everything you talk about, I just relate to always 100%. So it's just
100%
like
here too. It's just such a joy. Such a joy, honestly.
Like, look, there's another one of me. Wow. It's great. Wow.
Totally.
Thank you. Well, and you know, also, my friend, just exploring this here for another minute with you. You know, we can't give what we don't have. You know, and we've been given a lot, and as the phrase goes, to whom much is given, much is asked. And this is also, that's from the Bible, but this is also Lazarus, who's one of his quotes there was about God is all that is. Demands a lot from you, and beauty demands a lot from you, but they give you more than they ask for from you. That's the paradox. You know, my guides say this is one of my favorite quotes: when you co-create with spirit, what you've asked for comes out of the blue in the way you least expect it, better than you've imagined possible, revealing your true nature. So like when you're dancing, you know, by the tree to the mariachi or whatever's lighting your candle, you know, or I'm rocking out to Peter Gabriel or U2 or Springsteen or whatever, you know, we're going, yes, I remember who I am now. I remember what's important. And we kind of have to keep just putting ourselves in that space is how it feels, because, you know, as I say, we're really climbing a mountain now, to my mind. This eclipse on Saturday with the solstice is just really intense, really powerful. So we're preparing for that.
Yeah. 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 Totally. Totally.
Cool.
And there's, you know, there's things that they're doing using that timeline, like here in Spain, for example, they are then, how do you say there, the new normality decree
Okay.
will come into effect legally then.
Okay.
So there will be 3,000 beach surveillance agents monitoring the entire coastline of Spain,
Wow.
protecting people on the
Right.
beach from
Right.
this invisible. And so there will be forced masking and social distancing and non-compliance, €100 fine.
Wow.
And there will be, apparently also they'll be asking people if they're traveling with a train or bus.
Yes.
You will be needing to give your personal details and your destination, because the government has to know where every single one of their residents are at all times. So it's, to me, it's just very interesting that on a Sunday, they're starting a new decree. Like, why are they choosing specifically that date?
Sure.
There's going to be all sorts of weird marches going on. I've seen also the Luciferian March for the One World Government is going to be happening this weekend. At least they're posting their events. I don't know if anyone's going to attend them, but
Charming.
they are trying to do that. So
Okay.
I feel like, okay, all
Wow.
right, we see what you're trying, but we're going to blast light even more.
Yes.
And we're going to raise our voices even more, because
Yes.
we are already in the new earth, and we are just, you know, paving the way for others to come with us.
Yes, that's right.
So,
That's right. That's right, honey. That's right. Well, sweetheart, I'm just, you can think about this, but I'm kind of inspired to ask if you would like to get on and do something live Saturday with me. I'd be glad to channel, and maybe you'd share something with us as well. Just a thought, you know.
yeah.
You know.
Yeah, what I could do that. Yeah, summer solstice. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to be part of this Living Energy Day, which
Okay.
is like a 24-hour marathon of different practitioners of healing arts from all around the world doing
Okay.
1 hour. So I'm
Okay.
going to be doing that at 1 p.m. But aside from that,
Okay.
yeah, I'll be free.
Well, great. Let's have you then. We'll
Yeah,
put something
maybe
together
we
here.
could even do like get some others on board as well, huh?
Of course,
Do
I'd be
like a bit
thrilled.
of
I'd
a
absolutely be thrilled. Sure.
solstice
Yes.
ceremony together or
Yes.
something.
Yes.
Share
Yes.
some
Yes.
songs and
Yes. Yes. Have a group. Yes. I'm wide open to that
that'd
as
be
well. Yes.
amazing.
Yes. Well, let's do that.
Yeah.
Good. I just saw a blue pearl, so I think Spirit likes that idea. Yeah.
Yeah.
Brilliant. 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 Good. Okay. All right. Yeah. You and I need somewhere to put all this energy, I think, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, and it could be like a Summer of Light thing as well. We could post it on the group that we're
Perfect.
doing, and
Perfect.
people can tune in, you know. Yeah.
That makes my day, sweetie. That's just gorgeous. That's lovely. Let's put that together. We'll chat offline and come up with some great ideas. I love it. I love it. That's brilliant.
Me too.
Good.
Yes.
Good. Okay. Well, is that a good place to leave it for the moment?
I think so,
I think
yeah.
so too.
It's another creation that came out of this. I love that.
Exactly. One thing leads to another, as we say. Yeah. Perfect. So do we think maybe Saturday evening, like 7 p.m.? This is kind of what's in the back of my mind. Just
Sounds good.
Okay. All right. Let's play with that.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll leave it there. People are going to go to Summer of Light website group, a Facebook group, and join that. Ask to join that. And find you on your page, Henna Maria. And anything else you want to say before we wrap up here, before we get ready for Saturday?
No, just inviting everyone to know that they are loved beyond their imagination.
Yes.
Loved beyond measure,
yes.
And that they are supported by beings that are constantly around them, and by us. There's so many of us who want to welcome you into our group of human intelligence and love and peace and grace, and that you're welcome. You're welcome.
Brilliant. Yes. Yeah. We got to give the hearts for that one. Yes. Beautiful. Great. Okay, sweetie, I love you. Let's do it. I look forward to our next step on the journey here, and I'll put this out on my page, and we'll get ready for Saturday. We'll put something together.
Yay!
Brilliant.
I love you, Lou. Thank you so much.
Love you too. I'll invite my light worker friends as well. We'll see what we can create here.
exciting.
It is. It is. Okay, sweetheart. All right, there we go. Have a fantastic afternoon. Talk to you soon. Okay.
Talk to you soon. Okay, bye.
All right, darling. Peace and blessings.